This is my official ranking of every single FNAF game up to date. So including Secret of the Mimic and including Security Breach and so on. There's a few on this list that don't have any historical or like cultural value to the rest of the franchise, such as like Freddy in Space is a spin-off knockoff game that probably doesn't even exist. Another one is this one, and so forth. So we're gonna start with what we're given in the games that I've actually played before, and we'll go from there. So starting off, we have the original game. This game brought in a lot of memories for me. 2015, 2014, when I started playing the game, it got me obsessed. And although the mechanics now are a little bit outdated, I'd say that this is really the pinnacle of the franchise. And it starts off everything. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, which he wasn't even called Golden Freddy before, which it started off a lot of the lore, of the theories, of all the things. You guys remember Sparky? Came from this game. So I would put this at B. Solid B. Like, it won't go up or down. I feel like it's done a lot for the franchise. Obviously had to. And it's just, I'd say, if not top 5, top 10, of course. So then we have, going way down from what I just said, FNAF AR. This is not even in service anymore. This was taken off the App Store a long time ago. And it's just a shitty game overall. It had some cool mechanics. It was sort of like a Pokemon Go type game. And I feel like they could have done a lot more with it that they didn't. So for that, I would put it at F. I'm sorry for all those FNAF AR fans out there. I just didn't really enjoy the game while it was out. And I know that some people have since rebooted it, like Forsaken AR, I've seen on TikTok. It won't get to that point, the peak, it just wasn't there. And for that, I'd put it at F's tier. So now we have Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. This is a VR game. I would put this solid 1, 2, 3 SAB, not anywhere below. But then again, we still do have Help Wanted Original, and that was just the breakthrough for me because I love VR games, and playing and doing like the parts and service stuff like that, it really just upped my love for the franchise. And so I would put this at B, but not above the original Help Wanted, which we'll get to that later. So we have FNAF 3. This game was just didn't hit anywhere for me. When I played it, the mechanics are different, especially from the first and second game, where you had to do the little like, fix the vents and the audio and stuff like that. It was different, but it just didn't hit home for me. It didn't hit the hype that I got from the second and first game. It was very good in terms of the lore. I'll have to give it that, but I won't give it anywhere higher than the D. FNAF World.
Hello.
Unfortunately, I've never had the super amazing privilege of playing this game, and it's for good reason too. I've seen videos on people playing it. It has a lot to do with the lore, of course. The different like Old Man Consequences and the Golden Freddy lore lines and stuff like that. It's just different, and not in the way that like the VR games were different and the free roam Security Breach was different. This game just had different mechanics, and the hype was there, but it wasn't there for as much time as every other game was. So for that, I will have to put it at an F. I was really thinking about going E, but I don't think it deserves the hype that the little to no hype that the ones in the E will get. Into the Pit, I don't think I'm gonna rank this one because I haven't played it and I haven't seen really as much on it, except for like playthroughs and books and stuff like that. So I'm gonna leave that one alone, and I'm gonna go to Mimic. Unfortunately, I just feel like this game was really unnecessary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are known as a classic FNAF phase, and I just feel like it should have ended there. Not to say that Help Wanted is different. It doesn't have anything to do with the lore. It's expanding on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth game. This game goes all the way back. It was cool to see the mechanics with the Mimic and like how it all started with Edwin and the costume departments and stuff like that, but it just wasn't it was fun, sure. Of course, every single game on this list was fun at some point. This game just wasn't fun for that amount of time, if you guys catch my drift. So for that, I'll put it at E. It had hype, and it's ultimately still does. Just doesn't hit anywhere for me. Sister Location, now we're getting into the games that are top tier. Sister Location, without even saying anything, I'm gonna put this one at A. Borderline S tier, too. I just feel like the lore, Elizabeth, Afton, Circus Baby is just such a driving force of, I mean, even the rest of the games to go, Ultimate Custom Night, and 6 with Scrap Baby. That game wouldn't be it if it wasn't for this game. There would be a huge plot hole if it wasn't for this game, and everything I feel like goes back to this. There's a lot of theories surrounding this game, and it will never die out. I feel like the hype for this game won't, and it's so much different from the first 4. I mean, it doesn't revolve around Freddy and them, Bonnie and stuff like that. It has its own thing, and this is really where the lore starts to shift away from like, oh, just strictly in the pizzeria, to where Afton is literally harnessing life itself, and I feel like this game does that really well. Here's Security Breach. This might hurt a lot of fans, but I am going to put this one at C, a strong C in the middle. This game was fun for me, very fun. It was super different, more modern. It was strong in the aspects that it needed to be. I just feel like, again, after the 6th game, things became unnecessary. And not to say that this wasn't unnecessary, it was just weird. But in a good way, also in a bad way, if you guys understand. I'm not going to talk too much about this game because I really know that like it's very split down the middle in the community, but that's besides the point. So Help Wanted, I already spoke about this a little bit, so I'm not going to go too much into detail. I'm going to put this one at A. Only because, you know what? I'm going to switch my drift. Sister Location's going to S. That's going to be its own category. I feel like that game was just too much for me even to talk about. Help Wanted, probably one of my favorite VR games to date, and it was just a journey, and that's all I have to say. This is going to hurt a lot of people. I'm not going to talk about that. S tier. It speaks for itself. One of the best games in the franchise. Maybe I'd say the best game in the franchise. It's just, the mechanics could be a little wonky. Same mechanics for pretty much every character. Put the mask on, take it off, flash a flashlight, that's it. But the lore surrounding this is really where it takes the reins of the lore. And I just feel like it works out all too well in the end. FNAF 4, I'm going to put this one... I'm gonna put this one at C. It's a solid game. It didn't have really good replayability. Don't get me wrong, I love the mini games like with the Crying Child, the Bite of 83, stuff like that. Or the Bite of 87? Anybody know that is Markiplier? The mini games were there. The gameplay was weird. now that I know like what it was and the lore and the bunker stuff going along with like sister location is great retelling of the lore, but I feel like the gameplay and the replayability and the fun I had was lacking a little bit. Not too much to be the DEF range, but solid C tier game. I'm not gonna talk about this that much. I did like this a little bit more than I'm gonna put Security Breach at D and Ruin at C. I feel like the gameplay building off of the original game was way better. I mean, the Vanny masks and stuff like that, it was cool to see the thing, and I'm a fan of stuff crumbling and decrepit, things like that, and it was cool to see this FNAF 6 place there, but the rest of that, I just feel like it was a good DLC, especially to round off the hype for when the game originally released. Alright, so we got 2 more games here. We're going to do FNAF 6, Pizzeria Simulator, as people know about. I'm going to put this one at B. It's a solid B. I love the tycoon thing. I'm a really big fan of tycoons and creating and building. I feel like it was a perfect way to end off the franchise. The Henry speech alone just really sells the game for me. And the ending with the fire and bringing all them together to do that, I feel like it just really rounded off the rest of the franchise. And which brings me into Ultimate Custom Night. I'm going to put that at S. The game is just an absolute perfection work of every animatronic ever. Pretty much every animatronic ever in one game. 50-20 mode is perfectly difficult and impossible at the same time, but it is possible. And I feel like also regarding into like the story and the lore, it's literally Afton's hell to be in all of his creations at one place. So this is my list. Let me know in the comments below if you would change anything, or if you have any comments about the things that are regards that I made and remarks that I made. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.